Now we're live. Okay. And then if I push this button, there's a tweet. And I don't want to add a video. Next week, actually.
Oh, surprises.
Yes, foreshadow. And now if I click, I don't want to click that. I want to click that. And then I want to retweet that. Retweet. I don't know. Aquaman doesn't have a catchphrase.
Yeah, at least Cyborg does.
Booyah!
Booyah! All right, so you made a tweet. All right.
My tweet text being weird. I need to, or tweeting, whatever it's called. But my retweet did go out. Let me refresh the Twitter client.
In 7 Seas. Fap in the 7 Seas!
All 7 of them?
All 7, baby. Don't leave any of them out. You don't want them to feel neglected.
This may take a while.
I got all day.
Okay. All right, ready?
Oh, wait, real quick before you start. Can we not say too sweet anymore?
Sure, why not?
I know, it's played out.
So now we don't have a catchphrase anymore.
Well, it wasn't our catchphrase anyway.
It was our stolen catchphrase.
I know.
So we're no longer too sweeting. It's a sad, sad day in 2019.
And I feel like it should be something more geek related if we're going to take someone else's catchphrase. That's fine. I don't care about that.
So we should just have a different one each week?
No. I mean, it should definitely be a signature, but it should be something more geek related, like Excelsior or Enough Said, you know?
All right, we'll have to find our own because I don't want to steal Stan's.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, hold on 1 second. I need to look at this tweet.
I did see a comic book, an independent comic book company having Enough Said on their cover of one of the latest comics this week, and I'm like, well, isn't that trademarked? Isn't that copyrighted? Like, could Marvel have missed that over the years?
I mean, is it they just did it the one time, or?
No, I mean, even if you do it once and you try, you're selling something, that's enough for a copyright infringement.
Yeah, but you can always say it was this tribute to Stan if you do it now.
Yeah, but there was nothing else that on the cover to make you think it was a tribute to Stan.
Oh, okay.
If it was like, hey, this is Stan, in memory of, if you did it like that, I guess you could get away with it. But you straight out just put out your comic book this month with Enough Said on it.
I'm sure they would just get a phone call and be like, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
Even if it's from the lawyers, it's just like, yeah, okay. Can we just leave the one issue and we won't do it again? Because then they can use the excuse. We did it just, because Stan.
Yeah, you could definitely say that, but after the fact, but you shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all the Marvel covers right now have the tributes to Stan Lee.
Right, but not another company. Yeah. So Netflix just announced Stranger Things season premiere date?
July 4th. I saw that this morning.
Okay.
I'm psyched. And I haven't watched the video yet, but supposedly they released a video as well.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, it came out like late last night. I'm just, New Year's Eve, you know how it is. Just out of touch for a bit. The drinking and the partying and the excitement. We're dropping balls, baby.
Dropping balls all over your mom.
All right. It's a fappening, people. It's a fappening.
Yep.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. All right, let's do this one last time. Welcome to Geekodrome. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am John, and I am joined by...
Wait, what do you mean one last time? What? This is the last show or something? Is this a show I've been waiting for? The last one? Is this really here?
It's the Spider-Verse intro.
Oh.
But because today we're talking about Aquaman and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the two big holiday movies.
2019 sucks.
2019 hasn't had any movies yet. We're only talking 2018 movies.
I know, but I thought this was the last show. I got all happy.
All right. 2018 was a bit of a dumpster fire of a year to begin with.
It was.
But we don't need to really harp on that. But if you want to know more, feel free to hit us up on our Twitters or whatever. We'll be more than happy to talk about it. By the way, he is Stugots, and he's very excited that this may be our last show. Or may not. So are you having a good holidays as we are recording this on your New Year's Day, Stugots?
Yes, actually, I'm using my brand new cool down towel that I received for Christmas because I just got done working out, and it takes me a good 2 hours to cool down, even if I shower. So if you hear in the background, that's me snapping it to reactivate the coolness.
Ooh.
In it, and it works marvelously, except for I am extremely overheated every time when I work out. And like I said, it takes hours to cool down.
And it sounds great when you rub it around against the microphone.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to do that.
I know.
That's a byproduct. Sorry, I'll try not to if I start to sweat. But yes, it was a great gift that I received for Christmas. From
yes, I have a couple of those. They are pretty great.
Oof. This is the first time I used it, so.
All right. So then, if we're talking about the heat and the wetness, we can start with the Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Stugots, I know you saw it this holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the Aquaman?
I thought it was very good. It was very different than the other DC movies that we've seen. It wasn't dark. There was no brooding. Didn't come across as depressive or anything like the other movies. As it shouldn't. They are taking a character that we have not seen in a movie, aside from Justice League. They told a great origin story. They presented everything. The effects obviously were awesome. I can't explain how much I enjoyed the fact it was so bright and vibrant, even though so much of it took place in the depths of the ocean that we know are pitch black. The whole vibe to it was so much different than anything else we've seen from DC. This was more in line with the Wonder Woman movie than with
Batman,
Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was very pretty. It was a beautiful movie, especially when they go underwater and it's kind of dark, and then everything lights up.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just all right, we get it. You're saying we're not dark.
Right.
I know how much we harp on origin movies, but some characters do need an origin.
Dude, if it's a character we've never seen on screen before, like Aquaman, yeah, we definitely need that origin. It's the Spider-Man and the Batman and the Superman. I get it. My mother was shot in the alley, and now I'm Batman. We get it. We don't need to see that every fucking time.
If you spend more than 30 seconds on it in any of those, it's too much. Although we will be talking about that with Spider-Man.
Because what they did was cool. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But we're still on. Let's not jump across like we normally do. So, yeah, I thought it was very vibrant. I like how they did the origin. They didn't harp on it, but it was done, in 10, 15 minutes. And it was just here's the story of my parents, blah, blah, blah. And then here's him as a kid. And then here's him as an adult right after everything happened in Justice League. There was only one reference to Justice League, at least that I caught.
There was.
And it was really more of a reference for time than anything else, because he's just whatever. But it lets us know that this happens after that movie.
Which is perfect.
Yeah. And I think it needed to be done because they are trying to keep a continuity. Yeah. But keep it outside continuity at the same time.
At the same time, it was hey, we know that we've already done that. That this is where we're at. This is the universe we're in. We're just going in a slightly different direction. It was like a reboot of the DC franchises.
It really is. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this going forward. Because the next movie is Shazam. Mm-hmm. Which I also saw a new trailer for that before Aquaman. And,
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we saw we went to the 2D IMAX showing. So I don't know if that made a
Oh,
difference.
the other thing that I noticed for Aquaman, which I'm sure I heard it, there were only two 3D showings per day here,
Mhm.
and not just in my local movie theater close to the house, but like all the ones in this area, and it was like 3:30 and like 10 p.m.
Yeah, there weren't a huge number of 3D here as well.
And I just felt like, is that because theaters didn't want to give all the give a lot of screen time to a movie that they weren't sure how it was going to do, or that is it just like, hey, we're not loading it up with anything extra, so it's not worth seeing? I would have loved to have seen it in 3D, only because I'm sure that it was great to see. I think that's a movie that would have been great to see in 3D.
Yeah, I think all the colors and stuff would have really popped in 3D.
Yeah.
Because you need a bright movie in 3D, or it just comes
Yes.
out as too dark. So I'm looking at Box Office Mojo right now, and it has grossed $189 million, 375,000 domestic, and 562,400,000 international, foreign, for a $751 million, $775,000 total.
So what you're saying is the Vinny Chase Aquaman did better box
Yeah,
office.
it might be. Did that one break a billion?
Oh, I don't know. I
Because
don't
this,
remember. I think so. I think in the Entourage movie, I think there was a poster in the background that said Aquaman 1 billion.
is that what it was? I don't even remember. It was so
It
many
was
movies.
something nuts. I know, but
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, is that disappointing? Like, are those numbers disappointing for Time Warner?
I think does it say here? I think it cost. It doesn't say the budget here, but I heard somewhere else that it was a $200 million budget for Aquaman,
Wow.
which, you know, the domestic will cover that, and
Mm-hmm.
then the marketing's probably almost as much. So that's it's turning a profit. I
I
mean,
read one article that said that if China doesn't come out to see the movie, then it's financially a failure because of the amount of money that they do expect to make, in those markets in China for American movies like that.
China, it I think we're okay because China opening weekend 93 million, overall
Okay.
232 million. Yeah,
Okay.
it's doing all right in China. When
Okay.
almost half your foreign gross is Chinese.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean this thing's definitely getting a sequel. This is definitely
Oh, they
a
set it up, and they set it
gangbusters.
up nice too. They were ready for it, which is
So
bonus scene.
yeah, our villains were Orm, the Ocean Master,
Mm-hmm.
and Black Manta, who were pretty much the only two known Aquaman villains.
And that's fine. It's fine because now you go ahead and you're establishing his own space, so it's okay.
Yeah, but Aquaman is not known for his rogues gallery,
No.
and that's sort of a problem if you want to build a franchise. It's Can you really name a third Aquaman villain?
ExxonMobil.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Plastic straws.
Yeah, well, that's more of the turtles, but yeah,
It's the oceans. So.
it's true. So yeah, exactly. But it's none of them are really have faces you can punch. So I
Punch the CEO of a company.
Yeah. So I think we'll see a lot more Black Manta in the sequel. But I love how they gave him a reason to hate Aquaman,
Yeah,
opposed to here's generic villain who wants to kill Aquaman.
and it was valid reason, and Aquaman even acknowledged, like, I made a mistake. I did what I should. I handled that situation differently, or incorrectly, which is like, wow, that's great. To see someone who's so secure in himself that they can admit a mistake and hold themselves accountable. You know.
I agree, and it shows that the heroes are fallible.
Yeah. The other thing I really liked about it is at the end when when he claims his throne finally, he doesn't kill his brother. His brother's taken away, and he's like, "Hey, when you're ready, we'll talk."
Yeah,
Because I
exactly.
remember in the Superman movie, Superman got so much flack for killing Zod.
Well, Superman is the one character who should never kill.
Right, right,
He's a Boy Scout.
right. So, and that was definitely a mistake. So here, I feel like they rectified the mistake here with with this.
Yeah. Well, especially since, Zack Snyder is, although his name is on the movie as a executive producer, really had nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, yeah, because are they him and his wife like retired now after their family issues? They're not going to do movies anymore.
I don't know, but right now they aren't.
Yeah, I
From
don't
what
blame them. I don't blame them. They just like said, screw this. We're not doing anything.
No, and I mean, he's still got Justice League money, so
Yeah.
it's not like he's hurting. Yeah. So I have to say though that one thing that I really had a problem with was it really felt like it was 2 or 3 separate movies connected together. So we have the first hour, which is Game of Thrones.
Right.
Arthur is the half brother. His brother wants the throne, etc. And then he loses in battle. And then they go off on an Indiana Jones adventure.
Yes.
And it's just like, now we're on the surface world. We're going to the desert. And we have this adventure that was already shown in its entirety in a trailer, which kind of annoyed me. And then they go off and they go under to the underwater part of the adventure. And they go and he has the battle with Julie Andrews and reclaims the trident and the armor. And then we see the images that were in the commercial.
That's who the voice was. I was like, who the hell's voice is that?
Yeah, it was Julie Andrews as the giant monster underwater.
You can hear me.
Yeah, she's not in the new Mary Poppins.
Yes.
But she is in Aquaman, which is kind of hilarious.
What I took from that little moment when they stopped fighting was that was like your mother's name is Martha? My mother's name is Martha. It was like, you could hear me? Yeah, of course I could hear you. You don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But it just showed like, well, you have to be of the lineage. Well, I can talk to animals. Oh, you're of the lineage. All right, why not give it a shot then? I'll let you go. And then we see the image that was pretty much on every poster, every ad by the end. And then we go back to the Game of Thrones for the big final battle, with everybody.
Yeah.
And it just felt a little jumpy doing that. And
well, I know that like in our private conversations, you were annoyed that we saw that in the trailers and in the posters, but that's the way everything's going to be anymore. Nothing's going to be left on the screen or the screen. Everything's going to be. We have to give them everything in trailers, and it seems like people want that because when something's left out of a trailer, all you do is see complaints.
I know. Well, it's like you can't win because you have complaints that it's not in the trailer or complaints that it is.
It is. And me, I don't want any. I want very little in the trailer. I don't even want to see trailers anymore. And I love trailers. I used to love them. That's why we go to the movie theater 20 minutes fucking early because I want to see trailers. I want to know what's coming out. But I don't want to see the whole goddamn movie.
Same here. Although I like how the Avengers trailer feels like you're only catching things from the first 10 minutes or so.
Yes.
Which I also saw before Aquaman, strangely enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I like that feel like everybody's lost. Everybody doesn't know what to do. Everybody's depressed. And then here comes Ant-Man. And that's it.
That's it. That's all I need. It's like, it was like, wow, this movie's gonna pick up right where it left off. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be a lot of mourning. And then all of a sudden it's like, everything's gonna be okay. Ant-Man's there.
Hi, we met in Germany at the airport.
Hi, you remember me? I got big. I got real big. Hi, I know you remember me. It's like, they're gonna turn this around. Ant-Man's there. I can see the movie now.
And I love that Ant-Man is comic relief.
Yes.
It's just like everything's so
let me tell you, I see people complaining about that trailer too. Of that, it doesn't explain why Steve Rogers shaved his beard or why he's looking at the locket with Agent Carter. We're gonna find that shit out when we sit down in the theater for 2.5 fucking hours.
No, that one I can actually explain. He has a razor, and he still loves her.
Yeah. Oh my God. What?
She's dead. She's not coming back, no matter what. She died of old age in Civil War.
What madness is this? A razor?
It must be Asgardian magic. I don't know.
Whoa.
I'd be more surprised that Tony Stark hasn't grown a beard while trapped in space.
Yeah, that should have been something to get pissed off about. He's been in space for weeks. I can't go 2 hours and I have a 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, no. He still has that perfect goatee.
He has his perfectly groomed goatee. Let me tell you, I trimmed my damn beard yesterday. Could you tell? No. I already got the rough patches coming in around. That was yesterday.
I know. Yeah, it's if I don't shave, man, I get it going in pretty good by 5 o'clock.
If I was ever in a coma for any amount of time, I'd wake up looking like Cousin Ick. This motherfucker's flying around space and not getting any hair growing in.
Maybe it's his superpower. But yeah, I'm psyched for that. But
oh no, I'm definitely psyched for it.
Yeah, but that's May. We still have Captain Marvel before that. We have Shazam before that.
I've come to a point where reading the comments on things is really bringing, it's infuriating, definitely. But it's also funny. The Captain Marvel trailer where it looks like there's blood being infused in that one shot, right? You see the blood like going through the tubing. Yeah. I saw a comment on that of, you can't have all that air in the IV line before you begin an infusion. You can cause an air embolism and you can kill your patient. Good thinking, dumbass. Hey, we don't even know what's in the goddamn tube, okay?
It's a machine. It does special magic power things.
We don't know. And I'm sure the people making the goddamn movie aren't going for medical accuracy.
Here's a question. Does it look fucking cool? That's what matters. It's a movie.
We don't even know the premise for the scene. We don't even know what it's doing. It just looks like IV tubing with blood going through it. Doesn't mean it is.
Yeah, my thing has just become I start quoting the line from the Mystery Science Theater 3000 theme song. If you wonder how they eat and breathe or other science facts, just tell yourself it's a TV show and just relax.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But Aquaman. So what'd you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Oh, definitely thumbs up.
I enjoyed it. I'll probably rewatch it on cable, but it's not like I feel like I need to go back to the theater.
I think, and that was the problem I think for me with the movie is that there was no sense of urgency for me to see this movie, like opening. And I usually go to things like opening night. I'll go like if the movie opens Friday, I go Thursday night. We go late. We'll take the kids. First of all, there was no showing that was like the right time, so that definitely affected it. But there was no, oh my god, I have to see this movie. And I think it's because they killed it with the trailers.
Yeah.
Very much like what Age of Ultron, which I was really psyched to see when that first trailer came out. And then by the time the movie came out, I was just like, I guess I'll go see it. And again, it's a movie I was going to love. I was dying to see these characters again. And I think it's the same thing that they did. It was way too much promotion without giving in too much away, without creating that. Hey, we're promoting the hell out of this movie because you have to see it. You don't want to miss this. But
I agree. But I think that movie itself, no matter how much you want to love it, you're not going to.
Yeah.
It is the weakest of the Avengers.
Oh, definitely.
Team movies.
So, I would love for us to do a bonus show. We keep talking about it of how to fix the DC cinematic universe, and I would love to do that.
All right, we'll see. We're upgrading now. Then we're going to look to do bonus shows and special events and things like that.
Are we going to charge people for them on Patreon?
Double
Patreon, baby.
Right. So right now, if you want to support Geekodrome via Patreon, just send us a check in the mail because
we're not doing that shit.
We're not doing that shit. If there is a valid reason to do it, we'll consider it. But just to do extra shows,
I'd rather just do the extra shows.
I would rather find alternative means to support the show.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you like what you hear, tell a friend, tell two friends. We're not.
If everyone listening to the show told one friend to listen, we'd have two people listening.
Hi, Mal.
And then if those two people all told one person, we might have still just one listener.
Probably, but you never know what'll happen.
Yeah.
We're not quite that bad, but it feels like it sometimes.
I don't think what we do is bad. I just think no one wants to listen to anything.
I think that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into right now, but I think we could have one day. But yeah, I liked Aquaman too. And I have no rush to see it again, but I'm sure I'll watch it like when it's on cable.
Yes.
And it's just like, flipping channels. I can sit down and watch a half hour.
Yeah, definitely.
While I'm waiting for something to happen.
Definitely.
All right. So the other big movie this holiday season and probably the one I liked far more.
Mary Poppins Returns.
She did, but I didn't see that yet.
I didn't see it either.
But I did see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. Yep, we saw it.
And what did you think of Spider-Man
Man,
Into the
I mean,
Spider-Verse?
first of all, I was all jazzed up from the trailer. Okay, and I only remember seeing one trailer, so that right there made me psyched. And when I saw it, it hooked me. I really enjoyed this movie. Going in, I knew nothing of the other Spider people other than Peter Parker. I don't usually like time travel or dimension travel, anything like that. But this was so well done. I loved it.
Same. From the beginning, where we have, all right, let's do this one last time. And Peter Parker tells his origin.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, this shit. At least they're running through it quickly. Because, I mean, we all know the Spider-Man origin. And then
to the point where they made fun of it.
Yeah. And there's the lunch boxes. And there's this. And there's that. And there's the ill-conceived Christmas album.
Which Chris Pine actually recorded.
Yes, they did release a Christmas album the following week, including Chris Pine doing the bad Christmas song.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, that's cute, because we've heard the origin 100 times, and they're just making fun now. And then Miles kind of is doing his thing and gets bit and then meets up with Spider-Man. And then it's just like, wow, you're Spider-Man. And he gets into the machine, and then the most surprising thing happens. Spider-Man gets killed right at the beginning of the movie.
I did not see that coming.
No, that completely threw me. But then it's like they unmask him and he's blonde, and you're like, oh, something must be up.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's great to see like the happy Spider-Man, because then we meet older Spider-Man, and he does the same thing, but he's just like, well, I'm older and I've been doing this longer. And I broke up with Mary Jane, and I'm tired, and this, that, and the other.
And I'm lazy, and I'm chubby.
And it's just like, all right, they're having fun with this.
Yeah, definitely.
It just shows from the very beginning. And then it moves on. It's just like, and now here are more spider people. My name is Martha. So that when he meets her, it's Wanda.
Yeah, Wanda.
Wanda. No. And it's just like, and we're introducing more spider people, and each has their tragic backstory where they were bitten by a radioactive spider, and somebody close to them dies, and then, you know, they become vigilantes, except for Spider-Ham.
The one thing I disliked about the movie was Spider-Ham.
Really? I liked him. He was the comic relief. Yeah. What? I was bitten by a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know we were both looking forward to that bit.
I liked it. Yeah, when on the ceiling. That was funny, definitely. But other than that, I did not like Spider-Ham.
See, I like that they used him sparingly. Like, it was just a little bit here and there, so it wasn't overwhelming with that. But like in the fight scene, he's just pulls out the mallet or the anvil, things like that. And it's just like, all right, it just
was that like the right amount though of gimmick infringement without gimmick infringement?
An infringement on whom? Like the Warner Brothers?
Yeah, Warner Brothers Porky Pig or Hampton Pig.
Well, I mean, it's more Porky, but it was all right. I mean, because Porky never was like the violent one. That was always Bugs and Daffy.
So I mean, like, was it just the right amount of usage to where it's like, oh, we're gonna get away with this, you know?
Well, if we skip ahead to his final scene and he's jumping back into the portal, it's that's all, folks.
Yeah.
And the joke is, are we gonna get sued for that?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I
don't think so, because if it came up, it's a parody.
It's parody. And I think that, you know, everybody's just going to have a laugh over it. Because, you know, people at Marvel and DC do, you know each other and, you know, are friendly.
I know, but that's not the people who make those decisions.
Oh, I know.
It's some lawyer or a lawyer assistant sitting somewhere scouring the internet for things to bitch about.
That's true. But so far it hasn't happened. So if it doesn't happen the next week or so, I'm sure it'll just fade away. But it was just cute. I mean, it's just like, he's a Warner Brothers cartoon. And the coolest part is they hand animated everything that was Spider-Pig. So while everything else is CG, one of the animators went on Twitter and said, "Yeah, we hand animated all of the Spider-Ham stuff,"
Mm-hmm.
and it's just that
And
level.
it gave it that different look.
Exactly. Well, I love the look of this movie.
Oh no, visually it was absolutely stunning. The painting of of everything, the way it all presented, really really well. It was gorgeous. I love the how each you could have cells of that movie, and it would be like a piece of art for your house.
Well, that's what I love. Even like certain scenes, because they were supposed to be the classic Spider-Man comic book, they were done in
Yeah.
that dot pattern that old school comic books were done
Yep.
in. And it's just like each character had their art style for their backstories.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just kind of all came together in when they met. And especially I love that this movie really is the Miles Morales origin story.
Oh yeah, and it was perfect.
And it is. And it's just that gradual he is a reluctant hero, he has powers, and even when he's even early in the movie before he has the powers, he's just that he won't accept his abilities,
Yeah.
his responsibilities. And that because of all of the things in the movie, he learns to accept himself. Like he's in this special school because he's really smart, but he just wants to hang out with his friends. He doesn't want to accept that he's special. And then it's just the acceptance of I'm special, I have these powers, my parents love me, and I just can't. I have to learn to deal with parents as parents.
Yeah.
And things like that. Because like the scene where he's talking through the door, and his father hates Spider-Man but loves his son.
Yep.
And Miles has to kind of come to the realization that he has to, deal with that his father does not love Spider-Man, but he loves him, and they are the same person, or will be. Things like that. Like I love that just the interpersonal play like that in the movie. There's really nothing bad. There's nothing I didn't like in the movie.
It was exceptionally well done. And I mean, on the other side of it, even the DC movies are all exceptionally well done. So there's definitely that precedent. And for now, I would love to see more of these animated films done really well, which is what I always want.
Yeah, I never root against the Marvel or DC animated or live actions, but
I just feel like they could always be done better. But this was something I don't see what they could have possibly done better.
Yeah, more Spider-Man.
I mean, like the live actions are almost like, well, they could do this better. They could do it, different. It doesn't have to be this way. But with these animated movies, every single one of them, it just gets knocked out of the park anymore, and that's what I want to see more of.
Yeah, and they don't have the limitations of the live action movies.
Yeah,
like for Captain America could throw his shield. Excuse me. That costs like millions of dollars.
right.
It's all CG and whatever. Here, it's just Captain America throws his shield, and it costs the same amount as if they were walking across the street.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, animator. I'm not saying animators' work is cheap, because
No,
I respect what they do, but
no, yeah, it doesn't sound like that at all. It's just economics.
Yeah, it's the economics of doing a cartoon versus the economics of doing a high-end live-action movie with special effects and everything else.
Yeah.
A spaceship blows up. Well, that's months of production that has to look realistic, as opposed to it's still months of production, but it can be more stylized and it can have a more cartoony feel or more real feel. Like there aren't the limitations.
Yeah.
And I loved the post-credit scene on this movie too.
That was so cool.
Because as soon as I sat through the whole credits and I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's, meanwhile in Nueva York, and I'm like, Spider-Man 2099. I love that comic.
Yeah, to me that was the only thing missing in the movie up until that point. I'm like, that's the only Spider-Man they haven't acknowledged.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, and then it's like, all right, awesome. Spider-Man looked great. It was an interesting reinterpretation of Lila, his holographic thing, but his holographic partner. But it's like, all right, whatever. They're open to interpretation. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And then he gets the wrist thing. We're like, all right, sequel setup. He can go to any universe he wants.
Yep.
And then he lands in Batman 1967. And in
Spider-Man
1967. And in the script, it is referred to as what I have it here. Expend
Where it all began.
and this is because they published the script online. If you want to read it, at the end they write, "And we go out in pure chaos, the most expensive dumb joke of all time." And they're just pointing at each other, complaining that the other person pointed.
You're pointing
and
at me.
point.
I'm pointing at you.
You're pointing at me, right? As you say that. Look at you. Look at your finger. Look at what your finger right now. What is it doing? You're pointing. You are accusing me of pointing while you are pointing.
It's hilarious.
Yes. And then it's the end from the 1967 cartoon.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's so ridiculous that they're buying into this meme.
Yeah.
It's great to see that, a reverence to the 1967 cartoon, a hint that we'll see more Spider-Mans next time. And it's just like, all right, this is the perfect ending. And so I've read all of the Spider-Verse comics.
Yeah.
Where it was it the Inhibitors?
I don't know.
Who were like these like space vampires who travel across the multiverse, killing off Spider-Man type characters.
Oh.
And so, I mean, it was a really good story. And you have Moreland, who's your big bad vampire guy, and his family and his parents and whatever. And then all the Spider-Mans from across the universe come. So you have Spider-Man UK, and you have Punk Rock Spider-Man. And this is where we met Spider-Gwen, and we met Penny Parker. Basically all the characters who were in the movie, plus a shitload more. And you can look it up online. There's some great designs. A lot of them made it into the Spider-Man PS4 game. So it's just, there's so much to work with. And the fact that we're getting 2 sequels, a Spider-Women spin-off. So we might see more Silk, who is a great character. We'll see.
Very good character.
Yeah, we'll probably see more Spider-Gwen. We'll see the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman, probably. Maybe they'll bring up Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman, who hasn't been Spider-Woman in like decades. So maybe more Penny Parker, who was in this movie. So I'm looking forward to that. Plus, you have Spider-Verse 2 is already in production. So we're going to get more Spider-Verse, and I'm really happy about that. But the one thing I noticed is the Mecha Spider-Man, which was with Penny Parker and was piloted by her little spider, created by Gerard Way for Spider-Verse in the Edge of Spider-Verse miniseries, where it was like spotlighting a bunch of different Spider-Man characters before the thing started. I still don't know how to pronounce the name of the character.
I don't know either.
Because it is SP//DR. And they never once in the movie say it.
Say it. Nope.
It's written, but it's never said. So even now, nobody knows how to pronounce it. And I was just like, oh, I was hoping to find that out. Because it's a cool character, and it's a cool looking mecha and everything. And it really, even like killing the mecha was an emotional beat in the movie.
It was. It's like, that robot, even, like dying, it was like, what the hell?
Yeah, well, it had the really expressive eyes.
I know. I'm like, why do I care? But I did at the same time.
Yeah, I know. And it was just awesome. Like, I cared about all of those characters. And it was just like, there was so much going on. And yet you could still follow it all.
Yep.
It was still clean. And it was just like everything made sense. And it was just everything I wanted out of that movie.
The other scene that really did it for me was the one in the subway station where Miles was with his uncle and they doing graffiti, and they had the old school hip hop remix going, and it was just like, this is unbelievable to see and hear. It was absolutely perfectly done.
Yeah, I loved Miles' relationship to his uncle.
Yeah,
how they're like, all right, they sneak off together, they do their thing. And then when Miles needs, somebody, he goes to his uncle, finds out he's Prowler. Prowler chases him around the city, almost kills him.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the rooftop, and he unmasks. He's like, "It's me, Uncle." And the Kingpin's like, "Why have you not killed him yet?" Prowler puts the mask back down because he can't deal with the fact that this is his nephew.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets shot by Kingpin.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow. And this is Miles' Uncle Ben moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because every Spider-Man has to have a loss. You know, Peter, it's his uncle. Gwen, it was Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Spider-Man had one. I forget who Spider-Man Noirs was.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not as familiar with that character, and I saw the movie a couple weeks ago already. So everybody has to have their personal loss that drives them. And killing Prowler became Miles.
Yeah.
And then when the cops surround him, he's just like, you know, trying to deal and just not get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his father who almost arrests him. So he has to, deal with all of that as well. Which he kind of reveals at the end when he says, I love you.
I love you. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You have to say it back. And the father just has that realization like, all right, my son is Spider-Man. Spider-Man's okay. And I think that'll be an interesting dynamic for the sequel.
Definitely.
But there is one moment where I intentionally kind of was skirting around it because to me, it was the most emotional moment of the movie. And I'm sure at the time it was done, it was unintentional, but became so because of real world circumstances. And that was Stan Lee's cameo.
Oh, man. When he came on the screen, everyone in the theater, and it was pretty packed, the theater, when I went gasped. You heard it. Everyone, and it was like, whoa. Excuse me.
And the speech was just perfect.
Yeah.
Because I have the script up here, I can actually look at it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to miss him. Yeah. We were friends, Can I return it if it doesn't fit? It always fits. Eventually. Beat, Stan tilts head to a sign, no returns. He smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the whole thing. And it was
and in hindsight, looking back now, looking at it, you're like, because he passed away, you're like, oh, that was amazingly accurate.
I know. And it's just the fact that, I knew him. We were friends. Like, it just shows that there was that connection. And I love that line. It always fits eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it shows that you grow into your heroism.
Yes.
And man, even now, just talking about it, I'm like tearing up. Like, that scene just had so much impact on me in the theater, where I was pretty on the verge of crying just watching a stupid cartoon movie.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
I
get it.
And then at the end they dedicated it to him and Ditko, and it was
who also passed away this year or last year,
and who also co-created Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate neither of them got to see this, but
yeah.
So it was just I to the point where I almost went to see it a second time during the holidays, and it just didn't work out. But this movie I need to watch multiple times, without a doubt. I mean, I loved it that much.
And I'm not a gigantic Spider-Man fan at all. The character just doesn't do anything for me. But this movie was just awesome to see.
Yeah, for me, it depends who's writing Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man is very hit or miss. Either I love it or I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And this I loved.
But also Tom Holland's Spider-Man, the Spider-Man Homecoming was great as well, and it's made me a Spider-Man fan too.
I was, I guess, a little surprised that there was no Tom Holland Spider-Man in here.
Yeah.
Maybe in the sequel. I like that they did reference. They kind of referenced the Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
With the dance number.
The dumb dancing.
Yeah. But I think it would have. I think people wanted to see that Spider-Man make a cameo as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it leaves things open for the sequels. Personally, I would have loved to have seen Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Oh yeah.
Although, in the lead up to the Spider-Verse storyline, what you had was just like at the end of comics, them killing historical Spider-Mans. So like Hostess Cupcake Spider-Man gets killed.
Oh.
And random Spider-Man that appeared like once in outer space gets killed. And then there's a full page splash in back of one of the issues. And it's the Spider-Man and his amazing friends getting killed by the Inheritors.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's just them on the couch, dead.
Oh.
And I'm just, that was like, oh, crushing to see
Yeah.
when that happened. But yeah, I mean, but I love like how each Spider-Man had his own thing. Was like, even though they're all the same character, were so individual to the point where even like the dead Spider-Man turned out to be like Batman.
Yep.
Oh, I have a little shed like this in my backyard to hold my stuff. And then Aunt May turns out to be like Alfred.
Oh, Aunt May was cool when she made the web shooters for Miles and helped him with his costume. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting for you.
Yep.
Like, it's just so great, like, that they could take all these liberties with the character.
Yep.
Because there's so many variations. And Miles originally was Ultimate Universe Spider-Man, which that Spider-Man wasn't, by the end of it, the Peter Parker there wasn't hugely different than the straight Marvel Universe one.
Okay.
So I like that they kind of took the liberty and kind of built him out more to be like this superhero.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, because we only saw him for 5 minutes anyway. But then he became, everything he did and was created became sort of like plot devices.
Yeah.
Even his relationship with MJ.
Yep. Became a very good plot device.
When old Spider-Man is meeting up with her at the memorial dinner towards the end of the movie, I promised I would be there for you with bread.
With bread.
And I'm sorry I wasn't there for you with bread. It's okay. I just wanted bread.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. So it was just, I mean, I know we kind of jump around and go non-linear, but I could almost like sit down and just talk the whole movie scene by scene.
Yeah, I know. I know you can.
But
I see it in your face.
There are certain podcasts I listen to where that's how they review movies. And it just annoys me. Like, I don't want to, if I wanted that, I would just watch the movie again.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, it's just I love this movie and I can't wait to see it again. If I don't watch it, if I don't get time to see it in the theater again, it's one of those movies I know I may actually like buy on iTunes or whatever so I can rewatch.
Yeah.
Again and again. But I can't wait to see it again. I'm getting the feeling that you're kind of also giving it the big thumbs up. So
without a doubt.
So on that note, we can take this unto the breach and go into the hot picks. I know, it's surprising.
I know. So what do you got?
Oh, I'm going to go first. Well,
yeah, you can go first.
I
know there's absolutely zero chance that you have the same hot pick that I have.
I'll be honest. I have at least a half because like the holidays, I took the week off from work and just wanted to relax. I have at least like half dozen to a dozen things for hot picks to the point where I don't know which one to pick. So I'm going to say, because we are recording on New Year's Day, in the middle of the afternoon, tonight we are getting the Doctor Who New Year's Eve special, New Year's Day special. And I have been loving this current season of Doctor Who with Jodie Whittaker as the first female Doctor. I think
a female Doctor.
I know it's been a thing all year, but
women can't be doctors.
No, the Doctor.
They can't be any kind of a doctor.
Yeah. Well, true as that may be, she is the first female Doctor after 50 years of Doctor Who, and she brings such an energy to the show. I mean, I think
it seem like an outrageously long time.
It does, and it's more of a surprise that they didn't do it before now. But
like maybe 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah,
which even still is 30 years, and that still seems like too long. There's been man. I don't watch the show. I was never a fan of Doctor Who. I've tried over the years, but it's just like I get the iconic status of the character. I do. That's not lost on me at all what it means to people. But goddamn, for a character that's so larger than life and offers so much to people, never a female?
I know. Well, again, it's also been bigger in Britain. It's really only in the last few years or so that it's become big in the States.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine was a fan because it used to be on PBS when we were all growing up. And when it relaunched in 2005, he's like, watch this show. So I did, and I kind of really enjoyed it, and I got hooked, and I've been watching it since then.
Yeah.
But this is the 13th actor to play Doctor Who.
Yeah.
In 50 years, and it's a great departure. I love the energy she brings. She has like 4 sidekicks, which can be a bit much at times, but whatever. The companions are always, there to bring out the best in the Doctor character, which doesn't always happen. But we don't need to go over 50 years of Doctor Who. But I'm really enjoying it. Season finale was this couple weeks ago, but they skipped the Christmas special this year for a New Year's special, and I'm looking forward to it tonight. One of the big things about the new Doctor is they said no old villains. Everything's going to be a new villain. We're starting fresh, and if we feel like it, we'll bring things in later. Well, the ads make it sound like tonight the new Doctor meets the most dangerous creatures in the universe, the Daleks. Dun, dun, dun. And to a Doctor Who fan, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure. I get it.
This is the only Doctor Who we're going to have in 2019, unfortunately. So this is my Tuesday night, the eve before I have to return to work. I am going to be enjoying some Doctor Who.
Oh, that's cool.
As she rings in the new year. And that is my hot pick.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
I can't wait. And yourself?
So my hot pick is something very different that I've ever had for a hot pick. Very much in the vein of how much I've really enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse. I've been enjoying going through the hashtag on Twitter and on Instagram called Spidersona. SPIDERSONA. And it is artwork from people all around the world, children, adults, male, female, every color, drawing themselves as their own version of Spider-Man. And some of these are so amazingly visual. It's indifferent. I don't think I've seen 2 so far that are close to anything I've seen before or each other. There's one, Sun Spider. He's actually handicapped and has crutches and uses the crutches as web shooters. There's Spider Funk from the 70s with the big fro. I'm looking at them. They all have names and backstories, and they list that what they could do or what their origins are. And it's just like, these are some really cool things that people are putting out just for the sake of showing how much they identify with Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I saw some of it too. I like that you have like real comic book professionals who are doing it.
Yeah.
Who are just, hey, I'm reinventing the character my own way.
Yeah.
And then you have some who are just like amateur artists. So you literally have like crayon drawings.
Almost. Yes. There's one that I'm looking at right now, posted on Christmas by some little kid who I won't give their Twitter name, but they're obviously a little kid. They made their Spider-Man a spider ghost. Died from being bitten by a radioactive spider. Doesn't shoot webs, but shoots ectoplasm. And it is literally just a dead person body with a sheet over them that it looks like a Spider-Man costume, but it's a bed sheet. Like a ghost would be. It's so cool though. And it's like, oh, but it shoots ectoplasm instead of webs. That to me is just it's awesome to see that so many people are that this character has resonated with so many people, and this movie has. Absolutely unbelievable to me.
Yeah, I think that's always been the appeal of Spider-Man is he's the down on his luck loser in high school or after. I guess he's not so much in the later versions, but he was this down on the luck nerdy kid who becomes empowered and can, by putting on the mask, can kind of just come out of his shell and save
and
the
that's
world.
why they say in the movie, we are all Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, and that is the appeal of Spider-Man, and that's really the appeal of the early Marvel Comics characters, where anybody could kind of identify with them. They were family, they were flawed people, they were, sure, Ben Grimm's a big orange thing, but really he's just this guy from Yancey Street who's, a big bruiser.
Yeah, that's me.
Reed just happened to be a really smart guy who gained stretchy powers. Um, uh, was Human Torch was just a punk kid and happened to just gain flame powers. Susan Storm, she was a bit of a wallflower, so she became invisible. And it's just like they're very real people.
Yeah.
As opposed to I'm an alien from outer space. I'm, my parents are dead but multi millionaires, things like that. Like that's always been the appeal of Marvel and Stan Lee's legacy. That these are flawed people that you can identify with. And like that's what is so great about Spider Sauna.
Thoroughly enjoying looking at this hashtag.
I know, I'm kind of skimming them now. I just Google searched Spider Sauna and it's like all these great designs and mostly by amateur artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know some professionals did go in, but I'm not even seeing too many of the professional ones. Ooh, here's one that's a Velociraptor in a Spider-Man costume.
Yeah.
So you can just Google that. You can Google it. You can Instagram, Twitter. I'm sure all the comic book sites are kind of talking about it, so it's easy to find. So
very cool.
Check that out. So until next time, if you want to find more Geekodrome, check us out at geekodrome.co or on iTunes, Google Play. We might be on some more places next week. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. It's something I've been working on. Just spend part of the holidays was just I had to go out quite a bit and do family time and girlfriend time and all that adds up. So didn't get to finish, unfortunately.
It's okay.
But if anyone's smart enough, they can figure out what it's going to be.
Oh, I don't even know what it's going to be.
But if you think you figured it out and you want to hit us up, you can find us on Geekodrome at Twitter at Geekodrome Pod, on Facebook at Geekodrome Podcast. I am John. I am on the Twitters at Just John, and he is Stugots. He is at Don Stugots on the Twitters. And is there anything else coming up that you want to let us know about, or is it all still bacon?
Oh, I would love some bacon right now. I'm starving.
Hey, Earl, we got any bacon back there? I know. I knew that would piss you off.
Eat Up Show and Day Drinking will be returning soon. I would have to say sometime in January. Actually, maybe this coming week. You might see a return of Day Drinking or Eat Up Show, depending on what goes on. I just have some stuff to do around the house, but my work schedule will be changing soon. To make it much more easier for me to get back to doing all the things that I absolutely love doing more than anything else, which is entertain people. So,
all right. So follow him on the Twitters, look him up on the Facebooks, and all that other fun jazz to keep up to date and see when it all launches.
Yeah.
All right. And until then, we'll catch you next week.
Maybe.
You never know. And stopped. You bastard. You bastard. I'd already cut it before that.
I know. That's why I did it. So what are we doing that's different?
We're going to be on Twitch.
Oh.
We're going to be on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The problem is I just ran out of time.
All right. So I have to put the Hangouts app on my tablet, and I'll set that up on a tripod. This way I'm not looking into my phone.
Okay. But like I said, we may be switching over to Skype.
Okay. I will then put Skype on a tablet or my laptop. Oh, my laptop's not going to work for that. All right. I'll figure out how to do that. Just let me know what app I need, and that's what I'll get.
It'll just be Skype. I'll let you know. Hopefully I'll have it figured out today. And just depends how much time I have.
Okay.
Just I can't wait to go back to work. Please shoot me. Fucking hate my job.
I totally understand. I give my notice that on Sunday, and I'm just waiting for an actual a release date to be negotiated between my new boss and my current boss.
Nice. Yeah. No, I have noticed recently that it actually my job affects my health.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's that bad.
Yep. I
To the point where
understand.
I said something last night, and Andrew's like, "Yeah, you definitely seem better this week." I'm like,
Yes, because you haven't been at work.
"I've been at work.
Mm-hmm.
My job just stresses me out, and I just can't deal with it anymore."
Yeah, I understand.
So it is what it is. Please shoot me.
Yep.
So not looking forward to going back tomorrow. But I have an interview with Facebook to set up, and New York City wants me to come in at some point
All right.
after the holidays.
All right. Let's get that going.
So I got 2 hot prospects going.
Good. Good.
And soon, I was hoping to be out by New Year's, but
I know.
delayed a little bit.
I get it.
But I'm doing everything in my powers, my superpowers,
Mm-hmm.
to get the funk out of there.
Good.
So, all right. Until then.
All right. All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Tell Jen I said Happy New Year.
Jen! John said Happy New Year! She said Happy New Year. She's sitting right here.
Of course she is. Fuck her.
Yeah. Are you going to see Andrea today?
No.
Oh. Well, when you talk to her, tell her Happy New Year.
I will do.
All right. I'll see you later.
What? We both have to go back to work tomorrow, so.
Oh, okay. We do too, so we're going to hit up the supermarket and get everything ready before together for work. And Jen, school starts back up for Jen, the last semester of nursing school. And so today is one of the 3 days this month that we are both off.